Okay, so different ways to market as a new agent. So obviously with you being with anyone being a new agent, there aren't any listings in your pocket quite yet. Okay. So this is what I did back in the day. So this was 2024. Does it let me make it bigger? Okay, here it is. Okay, so this is not my listing. So what I always do is you always take a pretty you go so you're going to go to the MLS and you're going to do a search criteria for any kind of house that you like for any area. It doesn't really matter. Probably the area closest to where you live, just in case you get some hits, things like that. But you're looking for the pretty pictures. So this is a really nice exterior picture. Houses that sell are going to be houses with nice kitchens, the open concept, and bigger backyards, I guess, and typically bathrooms. So I didn't like the bathroom in this house, but you see how the pictures are really crisp. They got all the lighting. It looks really homey. It looks good. And then I like that the garage, it had the weight room and the epoxy. So I thought that was a nice addition. And then it has a nice big backyard. So the listing had like 35 photos, but I took like five of them and I made a post on Facebook. So I took these five pictures, and then this is what I actually put on Facebook. This house was located in Rockwall. But some things to point out is that I put lots of emojis to get attention. And what I did was I copied and pasted it. This right here, this information came from the MLS description. But what I did was I added the emojis to make it look cuter. I might have changed a word here or there, whatever. And then all I did was add this line here. And then I added my slogan line. This is something I put on all of my posts, all of these hashtags, my website, and my little slogan. I put that on every post that I have. If you go back and you pay and you look at it, this ending is on every post. So I take the pictures from the MLS. I take their description too, as long as it's a good written description. And if you don't like their description or you want emojis and you just don't know what to put in it, you can copy and paste the agent's description into ChatGPT and tell it to make it into an Instagram post with emojis, and it'll do it for you. And you just copy and paste it into Facebook. And then the biggest thing is right here, listing courtesy of Keeley Carter Realtor. I tag the realtor that actually is the listing agent. Now, if you look at it, the placement on this is on purpose because I could have started out my post with this. I could have put this first. I could have put this last, but I put it in the middle. The typical person that reads the caption is going to read the first couple of sentences. So they probably get about right there and they stop reading. So knowing that the listing is courtesy of whoever this other person is, people typically don't even read that far to see that. So to the naked eye, I am posting my listing. That's what it looks like. As a new agent, wow, you already have a new listing. That's what it looks like to the naked eye. So they are reading about half of what you put, again, about half of what you put, but you always put the actual listing agent on there because it is not your listing. It is somebody else's listing. Now, if it's now depending on what the agent says will depend on how you post it and everything. So basically, so most of the time when you are looking for stuff, all you're doing, right, because I did not just find this house and then just make up, I didn't just grab it off of MLS. I did not do that. And no one should ever be doing that. Instead, what you do is you go to how do you get rid of this? This is what I need to do. Hide floating. There we go. So you're going to go to your MLS. So we can do a new search here. So you can go to the MLS, and I typically like to look for the average priced home. So this is where those marketing conversations, the economics that we kind of talk about every now and then, this is where that kind of comes in because how do I know what price range I should look at in a certain area? Because let's just say, well, I'm a brand new realtor and I'm going to go take this $2.5 million home that I found on MLS and I'm going to post it and I'm going to try to get an attraction from there. you're a brand new agent, the people who know you and the people that you know will not be buying a $2.5 million home more than likely, right? Not necessarily you particularly that's on the call, but I'm just saying more than likely. More than likely, the average person is friends with the average buyer. The average buyer is spending anywhere from 350 to about 450,000 to buy a home. Okay. So in whatever market that is, that's what you should be searching to put so that you're attracting the biggest market when you get on Facebook or Instagram or wherever. So you're always going to hit single family. And again, you just put in whatever criteria works for you. So if I did 350 dash 450 and the typical person wants a 3 to 4 bedroom, typical person wants 2 or more full bathrooms, or they want at least 2.5. Okay. People typically want 2-car garages. These are very average things, but you see how I'm still at 5,000 plus options here. And then I also want to toss in my square footage at that kind of price range. I expect to at least have, I would say about 2,000 or 1,800. It's okay because of the 350. So 1,800 square feet. And I'm going to do no pools. And I'm going to probably do 2 living rooms and one. I want as much space as possible. Okay. And then now I'm going to break this down by city. Okay. So let's go with Plano. No, I'm sorry. Let's go to the south. Let's do DeSoto, Duncanville, Cedar Hill. We're just gonna go with the south. And then let's see. It didn't save it. That's why I typically do it like this. Okay, so you got Cedar Hill. You see how those actually saved in there now? Duncanville and DeSoto. So you see how many options I have? I don't have that many. So I got 34 options. This is good. Okay. So now I want to narrow it down a little bit more. Let's do anything built from 2000s and higher. Okay. So we're getting something newer, at least within the past 25 years. So now I want to look at my options. Okay. I got 16 of them. Okay. So I'm going to start with the lowest priced one. And again, you're looking for those pictures. This is a really cute exterior picture. It's nice and all that. But you see how the inside, it's kind of dated. It doesn't have any furniture. So this would not be a home that I would put on Facebook because I don't like the pictures. Okay. I'm not a fan of the outside of this home, but let's scroll through it and look and see. So once you get inside, again, no furniture, kind of dated. So I'm moving on to the next home. And that's what you're looking for. That one's kind of the same. I don't like the exterior of that one. Okay, this one has interior pictures. But you see how blurry they are? See how blurry these pictures are? These are not very nice pictures. Okay, so I wouldn't use this one either. But this is what you're looking for. This is a decent exterior that's kind of cute. Let's see what the inside looks like. Okay, we got furniture and the outside looks good. So for me, if I were to use this one, I like this picture. This would be my first picture. I like this open picture right here. This would be 2. I would also take this picture, that would be 3. Kitchens, open concept, and bathrooms sell houses. Okay, so I would probably take this one. This is 4. And then let's go see what the bathroom looks like. See if it's a nice bathroom or a good view of the whole bathroom. So you see how that bathroom didn't have like a good view of everything? This is not a good full view bathroom. So I'm going to keep searching, see if there's any other photos I like. More than likely there won't be. And I'm going to take a backyard picture. So I like this one. So I would take this backyard. That would be my 5th picture. And then I would go down to the description, which is right here. Okay. And I like this. So I could say copy and paste this. Go to chat. Turn turn this into an Instagram caption and paste it. And then now you see how it automatically adds the emojis for you and everything. So if I just showed you the pictures I would take, and then I would copy and paste this. And then that's what I would post on the Facebook. Okay. So that's how you build that post. Now down here, before you do any of that, this is the listing agent. That's that person's cell phone number. I am texting that person. Hi, my name is Jasmine. I work with SCM Realty. Here's my license number. I saw your listing and I would put the address, and I really like it, and I would love to bring you a buyer and an offer. Would you be open to letting me post this on social media? Simple. Once they say yes, then now you can do everything I just showed you. You go look at the pictures. We already picked our 5. We have our caption, and you're always going to put listing courtesy of, and you would put that agent's name. You do not need to put that agent's phone number or anything. You just put their name. And then now you have your Facebook post like this. Add your own slogan or copy and paste, the slogan or whatever. And then, there you go. And then now you're posting. You can make a reel with all this information, put some music behind it, have the pictures going in and out using CapCut, or you could do a video even with Canva. Canva's free, and there's versions of CapCut that is also free. But that's how you can make a post like this. Now, if you have a situation where you really like the house, and if you get a lot of comments. So see, I got 4 likes, 2 shares, and 2 comments on this. So what I ended up doing, just because I did get comments that showed interest in this post, what I did, which was why you saw all those open houses, is I went back to this agent and I said, hey, I actually got some people who are sharing it, commenting on it, whatever, and they seem interested. I would love to do an open house. Would they be interested in letting me do an open house? And I can bring these buyers with me. And they say yes or no. If they say no, then no problem. But if they say yes, then now you're making an open house post. Okay. And now you're posting the house again, things like that. But that's how I would do. That's how you start. This is going to be some of your marketing. Now, there are some agents in our brokerage, they put houses on their stories. Okay. So if these people are cool with you putting it on social media, then, every 3 or 4 days, put it back on your story, keep posting it, post different pictures that look nice, things like that. But you do it again and again and again. Now that's some of your marketing. Okay, that might be 2 days a week that you make a post like this. Another day during the week is going to be something that looks more like this. That's got a chart and it's got information that someone can read and learn. So this one's talking about homeowners have far more equity than mortgage debt. Okay, so one line is showing the equity, the other one is showing the actual debt. And it's just letting people know, you might have more equity in your home than you think. I did not make this chart. Okay, so let me show you where I got this one, because some of your marketing is not going to be, posting other people's stuff. Now, you don't need any permission to post anything that belongs to our brokerage, but you do need to get permission from the agents that are not in our brokerage. Now, if you go to Chicago Agent up here and then you hit premium, this is infographics, this whole line right here. These are swipeable infographics, so it has more than one picture. These are filters and lenses. So if you want to do a Merry Christmas post, things like that, here are some personalized videos, some shareable calculators, and it'll let you post directly from here. So let's do one from 2 of these. So this is an infographic. So I like the way this one looks. Why buy down your rate? So I'm going to click on this one. And you see how immediately at the bottom, it has my picture, it has my name, brokerage, phone number, license number, brokerage number, the logo. I did not have to add any of this stuff. I did have to add my picture into my profile when I created the profile for myself, but everything else, it pulls it from the MLS because we're a licensed agent. Okay. I don't have to add any of this, just my picture. All right. So then right here, I can decide, I don't want to do 500,000. Remember, the average house is 450. Sometimes on some of these, oh, right here, sorry. Right here, I can change that price. So remember the average house, let's just say 425 for an example. So I could do 425 and then I can change this down payment to do 3.5%. Okay. And then I can say compute. And then you see how now this has changed to match the numbers that I want it to match. So this is showing someone why you should buy down the rate. If you're buying a house at 425,000, the seller's contribution to buy down the rate has now changed the interest rate from 6.25 to 5.5 or 7.3 to 6.4. The monthly mortgage is going to go from 4,000 to 3,800. And these numbers are all very accurate. Okay, these are all accurate numbers. And then now your savings per month is either $0 because that client didn't ask for seller's concessions, or you save now $197 by doing your offer this way. So now from here, I can hit share and it'll share it. I can email this, text it, download it on my phone, download it, whatever. I can share it to TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook. I can download it and then share it to Instagram. But this is a chart that I did not have to make. Okay. Now I edited this chart just because I wanted to edit, but you want to obviously again make it cooperative to your market, right? So the market is not at $500,000 in certain areas, so I would make it equivalent to your market. So now it gives you, look at all these. These are all different ones that you could pick. So whenever you're thinking to yourself, I have no idea what I can post, come here and pick one. Just come here, pick one. You can post it just the way you see it, or over here, it'll give you an option. You can do this from your phone as well. You can use your phone and everything. You can use your phone and you can post it from your computer, Facebook, whatever. But just when you don't know what to post, here you go. It gives you options. Now, these are just the infographics, right? So I can do shareable videos too. So these are personalized videos. So let's do a temporary buy down video. So this is a suggested caption and hashtags. You can copy and paste this, but look, it creates a whole 1 minute reel for you. Okay. And then at the end of the video, even better, look at that. It adds the information in there for you. Okay. So it just looks like, wow, Jasmine just came up with this crazy temporary buy down video. No, I didn't. I pulled it off of this app. So here you go. So this is something else. And the whole point of doing these type of posts is, one, it's displaying professionalism, because you're not just posting houses. You're also posting information for the buyers that are looking, or sellers that are looking on your profile, that are now seeing that you're posting constant real estate content. So now they'll, okay, well, what can I learn from this person before I even hire them? Just pick a post from here and you can send them something from here. Now Christmas is coming up, and you saw how my Facebook, let me go back to it. My Facebook has personalized things with my pictures and stuff. Now, where did I get this stuff? Is not from here. You see this Merry Christmas thing. Jenny, I pay Jenny to post for me multiple times a week. She comes up with these and she posts them for me. So if you actually look at the post, you see it right here, published by Jenny Gilchrist, because I pay her to do that so that I don't have to post myself, just because I'd be forgetting. So she does it, and her art team comes up with the post for me. But that's a cost that I would not incur if you don't have the money to take over that overhead. I pay quite a bit for that. So and it's because she also manages the website and stuff. But here, this is part of, the thing. So you can upload a file and you can just take, let's see, let me pick a picture. Where's that one picture? I can pick this picture and I can crop it, and then boom, gingerbread houses, and I can share. And now I just created my own Christmas post, right? You can do this with any holiday, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you want to put out to the world. Grinch, whatever. This listing is lit and it's got these little lights and stuff around it, you know, the realtor elf, put your picture, whatever, right? You can, here's Thanksgiving, here are all the other holidays. You can do whatever, right? Or you can, if the price is adjusted, here goes another one. What if the price has adjusted on a listing that I have, or if I've said that the price has gone lower, you can post that house and do the price adjusted, spicing things up in the realtor world. You can create a lot of posts from here, from Chicago Agent. Okay. So that's going to be the second thing that I would do, as far as what could you be putting on your Instagram on a daily basis, you know, a weekly basis, by day, you know, bi-weekly or whatever. Now, every blue moon, here goes a reel. I'll actually go take a video and do a video for something. Okay. Now, when you do these, that is something that you are doing, editing or whatever. Some of my listings, or not some, all, because I pay for it for all of my listings. Let me scroll up and find one. All of my listings come with a reel. Like, my photographer will take a reel for me, like this one, and it comes with the music, and it takes all the pictures, and it just makes a 10-second reel for me. If you wanted to post, if you wanted to post one of these and it's my listing, I'll just send you the video. And then now you see, even up here, here's a house for sale, and I put a small caption, and there you go, right? But I even have those kind of all over the place too. And if I have a listing that's been on the market for a while, I'll repost that, or I'll make a new post out of it as if I didn't make a post about it before. But you see, some of these are just graphs, infomercial kind of look, you know, little reels that I make on CapCut, you know, things like that, right? But I'm just showing pictures and of the home. This is the type of stuff that you can be posting. That way, when people are clicking on your name, this is all they see. So if you click on my Instagram and my Facebook, you don't see anything but real estate. Like, I have a personal Facebook page. You would have to go to my personal name. And then this is going to have some of the repeats, but like, you see my personal stuff too, right? I just posted, you know, my best friend's birthday, and some of this stuff is real estate, but some of it's personal. You know, my kid's birthday is on here, taking pictures with my mom, like, you know, so you're not going to see real estate more than anything besides actually going to a real estate page for me. Okay. And that's all this is themed around. So that's kind of what you want on your social media, is you want to make sure that every time someone comes to your page, it's constant branding, it's constantly your name. What can they do with you? Buy, sell, remodel, custom, new build, invest, property management, whatever. How, you know, what can I do with this realtor? What is she good at? Gives you information, things like that. So this is what you're posting. Now, the other thing you can do on social media is see, look here, here's another realtor. See, it's not just me. These are realtors doing all of the same kind of thing. Say they posted some pictures, here's a caption, and then this is by her. She's a really good friend of mine. So this is her, this isn't her listing. Look at that, listing agent, Thaddeus Watson. See, this isn't even her listing. This is not just a Jasmine thing. All realtors do this, but she must have gotten permission from Thaddeus Watson and asked, can I post your listing, right? So it's not just a me thing. This is period. Okay, so, but what I was going to show you is you can, oh, you can create ads from here, you know, boost posts, things like that. This is if you want to. Now, personally, like, if you look amount spent, I don't typically boost posts, but I know agents who do, and they get a lot of success from it. Okay, so if you're open to spending the money for that, then you definitely could. And then there you go. But for me personally, I don't pay for it. So I just kind of create stuff. And as long as you're posting constantly, then that'll take care of it. So this is social media. Now, on another note, how do you get out of all of this? I want to show you some other stuff, but I gotta get the shared screen thing. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let me show you something else that I do. So I have postcards, and I got these from Jenny, and hopefully you can read that really well. So they're the SCM postcards. I write on the back, right? It's got my name, barcode, and all that stuff on it. So I use these for a lot of different things. I use these as my mailers for my clients. I use them as my congratulation cards, thank you cards, stuff like that for clients. But more, another thing that I use them for is I farm with these very rarely because I've just been really busy lately. But when I'm not busy and I'm trying to look for new business, I will farm. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like. Farming is when you are taking a certain area and you are trying to find clients in an area. So there are a ton of services that you can pay for that will do this for you. But this is how I do it cost efficiently. So I go to the tax. So you're going to go into the Netris dashboard and you go into the tax. And then you're going to click into the search bar and you're going to type in an address. Okay. I'm going to see what address pops up just so I can, which one of my most recent, if it will actually do it. It will not. Okay. So let me think of one of my listings. Um, okay. So, oh, let me do some more letters. Meadow Creek. Okay. So I got Meadow Creek, right? So I'm going to search. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. So what I want to see is the map. Oh, it didn't do it. Okay, this is what I want. Here we go. So do you see how number 103, right? And it tells me the owner. 107, and it tells me the owner. 111 tells me the owner. 115 tells me the owner. What you're doing is because I can click on any of these. Not going to do because it's their personal information, right? But I can click on any of these and it'll tell me who owns that house. Doesn't mean that they're not renting it or whatever, but that's irrelevant. But what it does tell me is who owns the house, and it will also tell me how long they've owned the house. So you can pick and specifically click, and look through and say, okay, these 10 people on this street, all of these people have lived there for at least 8 years. Well, they must have equity. And you click on each one and you see their name and you see their address, write them a letter. Hi, my name is Jasmine. I'm with SCM Realty. I see that you've been in your home for quite a little or for a little while, something. Would you like me to do a home value estimate or a value estimate on your home? I have plenty of buyers that are looking to be in this area and who knows, could be a great sale for you. Something like that. Put all that in ChatGPT. Tell ChatGPT to give you a great way to clean that up and make it sound more professional. And you hand write the note. Put your contact information is at the bottom, and then you put a stamp on it and literally mail it to these people's houses. So when I'm actually looking for clients, I don't go door knocking because it's dangerous to do that. It's 2025. I don't particularly like that or recommend it as a woman, period. No shade to the men, but I feel like men are a little bit more suited for that kind of thing. So, but as a woman, I would take like 5 streets and I will mail all 5 streets a mailer. And if they reach out to me, they reach out to me. If they don't, they don't. But let's just say out of 50 postcards that you send, one person reply, 5 people reply, and one person actually lets you put the house on the market, you close it. That just paid for all of your time and all the stuff that you sent. That's another way to put yourself out there. So you got social media, you got door knocking. I'm not a door knocker or cold call kind of person. But you got social media, you got door knocking, you got cold calling. This, what I'm talking about, is called farming. Okay. You can farm. Now, these postcards, Jenny will sell you 275 of these. I don't remember how much. I feel like they're 175 or 150 for 275 of these. And it comes with the envelope. Okay, so you don't have to buy any envelopes. You do have to go buy your own stamps though. So that's $175 there. Then you have to go buy 50 stamps or 5 books or 6 books of stamps, send out those, and then do it again. in another area 2 months from now, a month from now, however often you're willing to pay for something like this. Okay. So that's the hard way to farm. Now, the easy way to farm, well, the easiest way to farm would be to use a farming service. And those farming services are very simple, actually. On January 7th, we're going to be meeting with a title company. They're going to host us for training, and they provide farming services, and they will do it. You pay for the postage, you pay for that, and they ship out hundreds of these. I just do like 20 to 30 of them at a time every blue moon, get some success, whatever, whatever. I just like that it's my personal handwriting versus it feeling like something that was printed off of a computer and sent to 100 people. It feels a little bit more personalized. And it just works for me. So you can farm that way by going through a title company or our brokerage sponsoring title company. They will offer it. Or whoever you want, whatever title company you're comfortable with. And then in the middle, you could also go to our workspace, and right at the top it says promote. So yes, this system is going to be for our invoices, but you can do promote, and you can create brochures, business cards, flyers, labels, postcards, property cards, and you can create these. You see those? And you can put whatever information you want on them, what size you want, what do you want it to say, and then they will mail them to you, or they can mail them out, however you want to pay or whatever you want to do for there. So that's farming. That's another way to get yourself out there. Okay, so we talked about social media, we talked about door knocking, we talked about door knocking, cold calling, and now we've done postcards. So there's one more thing that I'm going to drop on you before the video ends up being a little too long. Let me turn this back. Okay, the last thing you could do, I'm not a door knocker fan, but I will go door to door. I just won't knock on their door. So I have these door hangers. Okay. And when I sell a house, it says just sold. I just sold your neighbor's home, and I'm trying to read it through the thing, and I have many more buyers looking in this area. Please reach out if you would like to know the value of your home, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then it's got my card look and all that kind of stuff at the bottom. And it's got this little thing at the top. And you just pop it out. And then I hang it on their door. So when I sell a home, whether it's a buyer or a seller, when I sell a home, I go put this on like the block that I sold the home on, or my client bought a home on, the block before, the block after, and then sometimes 2 blocks before, 2 blocks after. And it ends up being maybe like 20 or 30 of them, at a time, maybe 40, depending on how long the blocks are. And these cost me $30 for 100 of them. Okay, so very cost efficient, but I've gotten leads from even this, they're just, well, which home was it that was on the market? And then they'll go look it up and look me up to make sure I'm not a scammer or something like that. And then they'll call and ask me questions, yeah, I do want to know my home value, no obligation consultations, I push that out as well, so that people feel comfortable calling. And then, those are just a few of the things that I do to get my name out there, especially at the beginning. Notice I didn't say much about open houses because we've talked about them before. Open houses to me are definitely a game changer. I was doing 4 or 5 open houses a weekend. I would do one on a Friday, one Saturday morning, one Saturday evening, one Sunday morning, one Sunday evening. And I did that for like a year straight, like just almost every single weekend. And the weekends that I couldn't, or the weekends I wanted to stay home or, be with family, go to church or whatever I was doing, then I just wouldn't do it. But that's where I met a lot of agents, because agents would come and preview homes. I met a lot of neighbors, because neighbors would come and see what houses are for sale in their neighborhood. And then, you just get to hand your card out, and it's just leads for you as well. So I am an open house fan as well. So all in all, those are just different ways that you can start marketing yourself as a new agent. Again, open houses, door knocking, cold calling. Those two are not my favorite. They're probably at the bottom of my list, and I never did them myself. I'll put hangers on people's doors. Now, this one says that I just sold your home, but you can make some that say, hey neighbor, did you know your realtor's a neighbor also? Or did you know that your neighbor is a realtor? Something like that. If you ever need anything because I'm your neighbor, whatever. And again, ask ChatGPT to clean up the wording. But you can make those same door hangers to just let people know, hey, I live in this neighborhood with you, and I am also an agent. If you need something, I'm your neighbor, call me, whatever. So you got the door hangers, we got cold calling, we got door knocking, we got open houses, farming, whether you do it the hard way like I like to do it because I just like to hand write, whether you do it from Workspace or another system like Workspace, or you go to a title company and partner with them and do it, or social media and how you can take posts from the MLS and you send that information over and you get permission to post other people's posts, and then you go from there. Okay. Any questions, any thoughts, any ideas? All good? Okay. Very good.